There's some additional reports that what we refer to as a chief's report here. I usually give it, and it just has like how much money we've got in the bank and stuff like that for the CSA. So there's additional copies up here if anybody needs any.
Here's minutes of the last meeting. I have it, not enough for everybody. Anybody want one? Yeah. No? Anybody else?
Okay, the meeting was called to order at 10. We already had our closed session while you guys were filtering in, so we're on to the regular business of the Palomar Mountain Volunteer Fire Department. I want to welcome everybody here for coming this morning. I'm Susie Kellogg, Board President. This is Doug Landy, Vice President. Linda Thorne, Secretary. Keith Ronchetti, Treasurer. And Bruce Graves, Member at Large. Our Chief, George Lucia, and our Battalion Chief, Cliff Kellogg. We are being taped. Occasionally we do tape our meetings if we feel like we've got too much for somebody to try to get into the minutes. I believe our guests are here. I've never met them, so I'm not sure who they are, but can you introduce them?
Certainly. We have Ralph Steinhoff down here on the far end right here from the Fire Authority. And Ken Miller.
Hi, Ken.
And of course Kevin O'Leary to his left.
Okay. Everybody, welcome to Palomar Mountain. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to kind of go through the regular business rather quickly so that we can get to the topic of discussion, which I think we're all here interested in, which is the county contract and the changes that have come about with the fire department. Yes?
Keep going with our visitors. You've got a whole another row here.
They'll have to introduce themselves because I don't know all of them. But we have various fire departments represented here today that were interested in the same topics that we are. We have them. If any of you gentlemen want to start down there and introduce yourselves from the other departments.
Fernando Castorina, a board member with the Ocotillo Wells Fire Department.
John Hardcastle, Borrego Springs, Ocotillo Wells.
Lieutenant Robert Hume with Campo Fire. I'm also a board member at Campo.
Gil Fernandine, Chief of San Pasqual Fire.
Kevin Bennett, Chief of Shelter Valley Fire.
Mary Sanders, Shelter Valley Fire Board Member.
Terry Sanders, Admin Chief and Board Member, Shelter Valley.
Susan Raymond, Mount Laguna Firefighter EMT and Board Director.
Lawrence Crow, Mount Laguna Fire Department, I'm also on the board too.
I'm Kevin Diddler, the Chief at Julian Creek Mac Fire.
Let's go ahead and have all of our residents.
Jim Zone, I'm a board member in Julian.
All of our residents, introduce yourselves. Just leave the Palomar residents. Who's next?
Yeah.
David, you're up next.
Your name
That's David. He's a Palomar resident.
I'm just a resident.
Yeah.
I'm Glenn, I'm just a resident.
Merle Walls, a resident.
I'm Mike Peak, part-time resident and the secretary of the PMVO.
Bob McNabb with the California State Firefighters Association.
John Mandel, I'm part of the fire department, Palomar Mountain.
Suzanne Leininger, firefighter with Palomar Mountain.
Ken Rice, firefighter with Duluth and Duluth board member.
I'm Heather Beer. I'm a PMPO board member and I'm an admin for the fire department.
Steve Howers, I'm a board president for San Pasqual Fire.
I'm Chuck Diltz, and I'm a board member of San Pasqual Fire.
Lola Graves from Palomar Mountain resident and activist.
Linda Fortney, resident.
Nina Falkenstein, resident.
Janine Barrows, resident.
Engineer for firefighter, engineer for San Pasqual Fire Department.
Nancy Chisney, part-time resident.
I'm Mike Chisney, resident and PMPO information officer.
Okay, front row. We skip the front row.
I'm Jim Whitten, board member for the Ranchita Fire Department.
And he's also the president of the board. And I'm Gary Stovall, and I'm the vice president of the board for Antietam.
I wouldn't want to say that.
I'm Bernadette Madison. I'm a resident.
Gordon and I'm a resident.
Okay, and that's John Lesak behind the camera over there. He's also a property owner, part-time resident. Okay, on with the business of the meeting. Approval of the minutes for the 12-5 meeting. Board members have already read them. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move we approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the minutes of the 12-5-09 meeting are approved. Financial report, Keith Ronchetti.
Board accounts, balance of the checking account is $30,428.27. Board savings account, $560.06. Money market account, $46,251.95. One outstanding charge on Home Depot for $941, which brings the total to $77,230.87. The $38,000 we set aside for the admin building, we have spent. Building fund, the $15,000 donation from Barricade, we're working on that. We've got a remaining balance of $8,030.57. CERT, we're holding funds for the CERT, $2,813.35. They had some expenses this month. And then the Iverson easement, we haven't spent that yet, that's the $500. The community center, we're still got $5,000 that's on hold until we finish that. So that brings our net assets to $70,886.95. Again, these are the board accounts.
Okay, board members, any questions on the treasurer's report or anybody else? Is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Treasurer's report approved. Chief's report.
I'll go through this rather quickly. The CSA account, current balance in the CSA is $44,554.09. And the EMS account is $8,040.03. Under grant information for the board, the fire and EMS grant, we currently have about $3,500 still to our credit under that grant, and I have some additional information on the admin building. Under the fire EMS for 0910, this is the grant for the water tender and pump monitor installation. That was approved by the Trust Fund Committee, and next it'll be going to the Task Force Committee in February. After that, the County Board of Supervisors approved all the projects or disapproves the projects, whatever the case may be, on March 23rd board meeting. Under the County Community Development Block Grant Phase 2, SDG&E is still waiting for an underground easement approval for the property owner where the pole is located up behind the station. I'm working on that. Once we get that, then I'll be going back down to the county to work on getting our permits for that. Under the Fire Foundation grant, we still have the $3,500 gift certificate to spend at Fire Etc. And Captain Gregg has finished that list of items that he wants to get, and we'll be going shopping soon. Under the McCormick Tribute Foundation, we still have not received our 6 VHF mobiles and our 6 800s. We're still waiting on those. Under the 2007 State Homeland Security Grant, I've had no update on that since last year. Under operations, total calls for December, we had 11. We had 6 medical calls, 2 vehicle accidents, 1 car fire, 1 attended campfire, and 2 public assists. Total calls for 2009 was 134. As compared to 2008, we had 92, which was an increase of 46%. Total calls for 2010 so far, we've had 1 motorcycle accident and 1 unattended campfire. Condition of rolling stock is very good. We've had all our annual inspection on all the vehicles. We're currently doing some pump testing, and we had some maintenance done on the rescue. One of the rescues yesterday with new tires installed. Under training, currently have 4 members attending the San Diego County Fire Authority Academy, with the graduation will be next Saturday. And one of our members is the high scorer in the class. Last one they had up here at Paula, one of our members was the high scorer in the class. I think she's sitting back there. Current membership, we're sitting at 20 right now. We have 10 active firefighters. We have 9 probationary members and 1 admin. We currently have 8 EMTs on the department. I would like to mention that there was someone in the community that needed assistance over the holidays. A collection was taken thanks to Bruce putting that together. And there was over $1,000 collected for that family to help them out. And much of it came from the fire department and some of the other members in the community also. Under building and grounds, as you may have noticed, the flagpole area up here is being enhanced by a Boy Scout troop, even as we speak. Wood chips are being placed around the flagpole and the memorial garden. There's a pile of asphalt grindings out here in the front from the South Grade Rumble Strip project. That's been delivered here to the station. We plan to use those grindings around the station to cut down on some of the dust. We'll probably go on this side right now. I have no requisition or request for requisition and refunds, and that's the end of that report.
Okay, is there any questions for the chiefs? Is there a motion to approve the chief's report?
I make a motion to approve the chief's report.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in
Does
favor?
look like he's going to make a comment.
We might as well go ahead and vote, approve it. I was just gonna ask what you guys thought of those rumble strips, how much they're gonna decrease your accidents. You think they're gonna?
It's only our hope that they help keep cars in the proper lane. Our experience has been that most fatalities and serious injuries have come from head-on collisions and crossing the lane. We'll never prevent all of them, but people unfamiliar with the area will know when they're going over the line. Us who use them every day in the fog and the rain, that'll help us keep us in our lane. I think they will help.
I think they're a great improvement.
Okay.
Did we vote?
All in favor of approving the chief's report?
Aye.
Okay, chief's report approved. Third report, is Bill Leininger here?
No, he's not, but Bill did want me to tell you that, because he had to leave, that there's not any major changes right now. They did have training today. Chief, I think you were there at the training. I'm not sure what they did, I missed that, but...
They did refresh themselves on stretcher training, moving people on the ATV and on portable fire extinguishers. They're using the, we received the grant for the extinguisher training module, and we've been training all the local CERTS groups and local companies, the observatory staff, and that allows us to train on portable extinguishers without actually using an extinguisher on a propane fire. So they used that this morning also.
Good. Is anyone here prepared to speak for the Fire Safe Council?
Got me.
No, we haven't had a report from them for a long time. I would like to just request we delete that from the agenda for now, and instead of that, I would like to do a report called Community Safety, Forest Health, Development.
Okay.
There have been no meetings at all for months, so I don't know as far as fire safe goes.
Well, maybe this year we'll try to look into that a little further and see if we can't get a little more coordination with the Fire Safe Council and the fire department, because we should be working hand in hand.
I did go to the FAST meeting, and there's only been one Fire Safe Council that received any funding in the last year, I was told at that meeting, and that was for community training about fire safe vegetation maintenance or planting. That's the only Fire Safe Council that's received any funding lately. So that's all I know about
Maybe that's
that.
why there's been no meetings for funding. I don't know.
Do you have anything you want to say about the activities going on in the mountain right now?
Should I do that now?
You want to?
Oh, yeah,
Go ahead.
okay. All right. The Forest Service is doing a real good job over here on Fry Creek area, observatory area, about fire hazard reduction. I never thought I would see the amount of brush cutting that I saw a week ago on Observatory Trail. So that is good for community safety and forest health as far as I'm concerned. They're doing a good job. Also, I asked the county if I could tour their areas, and I'm still working on that with their representative to look at their cutting areas down here below Birch Hill and Pedley Valley area. So, I know they're taking a lot of material out there, I just haven't seen it, but their representative said they are dealing with the timber slash, which I was happy to hear.
Yeah, good. I'll say that they've cleaned up my property. They must have marked 100 dead and dying trees, and most of them are gone. They haven't finished because weather got in the way, but they've done a really good job of, I can't thank them enough. I could never have gotten that amount of stuff out of there. And some of it was on steep slopes, so they're making a difference as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, yeah, overall, the fire hazard reduction on the mountain is still ongoing. End of report.
Okay, thank you, Doug.
Okay.
Okay, under old business, community center progress report. Earl, are you in here?
Well, we're still progressing.
Okay.
We have about 4 pieces of wall back here to finish, to get shingled, and then we can paint. And then hopefully we could say that the progress has been completed. I think some of you enjoyed part of our community center today in the lower level. And some of you have enjoyed our toilets. Please feel free to use them. But we're very pleased that we're getting towards the end of that particular project.
That phase of the project.
That phase.
Thanks again, Earl, for all you're doing over there. Everybody, you're well.
I've got a question for Earl or the chiefs, either one. Was there any report on the inspection the county did?
I have heard nothing.
Okay. About the,
Yes.
there was a report?
No, they're not a report. I did speak to Lorraine Kellogg verbally, just over the phone, and just to see if she had any further questions, and she did not, because I happened to not be here the day that she showed up. She was going to be here on a Wednesday. I went down on Tuesday to get some errands for some stuff in the office, and it turned out that she had shown up while I was gone.
We don't know if they consider the project complete.
Not yet, no. No.
Okay.
Okay, and then also under community center is block grant phase 3 approval to administrate.
Yeah,
if you have something
we've
you need to
applied
sign
for
off
a block grant, what we're calling the third phase, which is going to be for permits and plans. We were given a price of around $25,000 to $30,000, so we applied for that. I got a email back on December 15th from Lorraine Kellogg, Housing Program Analyst for the County of San Diego, Community Development Division. And she requests some information that I can put together, like our DUNS number and some of the other stuff, pretty easy to get. But she did want an authorization to submit the application and a designation of an authorized official to negotiate and contractually bind the agency. So she wanted like minutes from the board meeting or a board resolution or something. So I put together a board resolution for the board to sign, and you'll need to have someone on a motion and a second, and I can read it or you can read it. Then you'll want a ringable neck basically to that you want to apply in here. That would be responsible for it.
You will be the ringable
I'll
neck.
probably be the ringable neck.
Are you standing right now?
Yeah.
We have a professional neck ringing person, so
And he's very used to it.
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
type your name in it.
Yeah, at home and here.
Okay, so I'll just read this briefly, and then if we want to pass this resolution, we're all going to be ringable necks. We all sign it.
Yeah.
Okay. January 9th, 2010. This is the resolution that we're going to move to approve. Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Palomar Mountain Volunteer. Did you just read this?
Did I read it? Did I read it? Would I read it?
Okay. Board of Directors of the Palomar Mountain Volunteer Fire Department, CSA 110, authorization to submit a community development block grant application for fiscal year 2010-11 and designation of authorized official to negotiate and contractually bind the agency. Whereas the Palomar Mountain Volunteer Fire Department is participating in the San Diego County Fire Authority And whereas the Palomar Mountain Volunteer Fire Department is anticipating that the new development will occur within its service area, which will cause the need for expansion of the existing fire protection facilities and equipment. And whereas the Palomar Mountain Volunteer Fire Department has the opportunity to apply for Community Development Block Grant, therefore it is hereby found that the Palomar Mountain Volunteer Fire Department does not have existing facilities which could be used to provide an adequate level of services to new development within the district's boundaries, and the Palomar Mountain Volunteer Fire Department does not have sufficient funds available to obtain the necessary permits and plans, and the lack of fire protection facilities and equipment to serve new development would create a situation perilous to public health and safety if the plans and permits are not acquired. Now therefore it is hereby resolved that the Palomar Mountain Volunteer Fire Department authorizes Cliff Kellogg to apply for and be the designated authorized official to negotiate and contractually bind the Palomar Mountain Volunteer Fire Department for fiscal year 2010-11 Community Development Block Grant to obtain plans and permits for a modified site plan for future improvements. Okay, now we're going to take a vote. How many say aye?
Could I question about, okay, that's a resolution. I think we've all looked at that before. We're somewhat familiar with it. Is this for phase 2, phase 3, phase 3?
Permits
Okay.
and plans.
Okay, that was my only question. Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Who wrote this document anyway?
I did, but I cheated. I took it off one of the county's forms. Ralph?
Sound familiar?
Sound a little familiar?
Something I might have written.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll just pass that along, and we can continue with Fire Admin Building Progress Report, George and Cliff.
Okay. I guess you've noticed that the building was just this week moved over onto the property after 3 years of sitting over at the LZ. Probably the owner of that property over there is probably more happy than we are to get it off of his land. We moved it over here and anchored it down and put it together. So we're sitting there waiting for our permits to be issued so we can start working on it. Jim has a few things of his personal nature to get out of that building that was his that he had left in there. So he's going to get a few things out and then we'll kind of clean it out and get it ready. If you'll notice on that admin building progress report, those figures are the same. They haven't changed at all from month to month so far. We do have some money that we can send in for reimbursement under the fire and EMS. The rest of that is board money, and there is a fire mitigation fee, but of course that's not reimbursable until we have our permits in place, so that's what we'll be waiting for. So, other than that, it's in place, but it's just sitting there, and hopefully within the next year or so we'll have our permits in place and ready to go.
Okay, very good. So nice to see that finally done.
It was a tight squeeze coming down the side.
Those guys did a great job.
They did a great job, or very great job. So.
Okay, under new business, this is where we're going to be talking about the county, and Ralph and Ken will answer some of our questions that we have. Chiefs, would you mind if I let them use your table up there, because they've got kind of a lot of paperwork? And,
absolutely.
And would you guys mind putting it up there? Then
not at all.
We can do that?
Sure.
Thank you.
Do you need an easel?
That'd be great.
That would help.
We have an easel, I think.
Yeah, I've got an easel here. I'll get it for you. Anything else you guys might need? It's a small easel, but that's all right. I'll do it. I'll do it.
I think we're going to use the easel.
We want work chart.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, do those.
Do you need any of those?
I will.
Yeah, yeah.
I will.
Probably don't need all of this.
No, this can help.
I'd start off with pulling trees. Bring up trees.
Good afternoon. My name is Ken Miller. I'm one of the fire service coordinators here in the county of San Diego with the County Fire Authority, which is located in the Department of Planning and Land Use. And you know Chief O'Leary, he's here today. He's one of our management groups, along with Chief Dubler in the back, is the management group for the other group of volunteer departments. I'm going to give you a little background about me, and then I'm going to turn over to Ralph to introduce himself a little bit, because thank you very much for letting us come to your board. This is the first chance that we've had to be before your group ever. We started this program back in 2004 with the concept moving forward as we were directed, which has led up to the program as it is today. So it's nice to be able to address your board. We've met with most of the other boards in the past, but this is our first opportunity here, and we appreciate that. My background is I retired out of the state of California. I was the unit chief for CDF at the time, in charge of this county and what little bit of acreage was over in Imperial County. So after nearly 32 years, I retired. The county was looking for some people. Ralph helped recruit me from an interest perspective to see if I could do some plans at the counter, looking at sprinkler plans, development plans, those kinds of things. Cedar Fire came along, and lo and behold, we were redirected to help come up with some way to improve fire protection in the county. So that started in around February of '04. So it gives you a little bit of background about where I've come from with my fire background, and I've been with the county now for a little over 6 years. So I'll let Ralph introduce himself.
I'm Ralph Steinhoff. I came to the county in 2003, in January of 2003, after I retired from North County Fire. After 30 years with North County, I retired as the deputy chief. At North County, originally we were Fallbrook Fire Department, so I started my career as Fallbrook, and then following Prop 13, so we would qualify for some of the AB 8 dollars, we merged with the Rainbow Volunteers, and so then we became the North County Fire Protection District. Through that, I had been moved up through the ranks from firefighter through fire marshal. I had been a fire marshal for nearly 15 years, along with an operational chief officer. So that was my tenure there, and we came in really after Bob McNabb back here. Our predecessor is Bob McNabb, who's now with CSFA. Bob was also the fire services coordinator of the county of San Diego. But after I've been at the county a short time, the other one who was there was Cliff Hunter. He stayed a few weeks and decided he would go back to work for Rancho Santa Fe. So he left, and I was an organization of one. And since I knew Ken had been a fire marshal with San Bernardino, and we thought what we were going to do was actually do sprinkler plan reviews and plans checks. Little did we know that we would embark back on this other side. So, but the areas that we really do at the county is we do the Dead, Dying, Disease Tree program. We've got the fire prevention program that we have at the county. We have the County Fire Authority piece of what we have. And we also have the damage assessment program that we head up at the county. So those are the four major areas that we have. And with that, Kevin, you want to? We also got Kevin with us as one of our representatives, and I think you might have started with Ramona.
Yes. Started 1977 with the Ramona Fire Protection District. And then within a few years, because of, again, Prop 13, the Water District took over the fire department. And I became a Water District employee, worked up through the ranks in the Ramona Municipal Water District / Fire Department. And then in 1993, the Water District contracted with CAL FIRE. I became a CAL FIRE employee, came over as a battalion chief to what is now CAL FIRE, used to be CDF. And currently I am the Deputy Chief of Administration for CAL FIRE. And I'm funded through the County of San Diego, through the County Fire Authority. What I do there is do all of the coordination. When you turn in your stipend payments, I look at and review your stipend payments that come through. I work with the service center making sure that the gear is there for the volunteer departments. I also oversee all of the contracts in the county. So the contracts with Valley Center, Deer Springs, Ramona, all of those contracts is something that I look over. And I also little control I have over the state budget that the taxpayers provide. And it's a little over $50 million is what the CAL FIRE budget is for just the county of San Diego and a small part of Imperial County.
And can I ask real quick, what is your assigned role as, is it like as a liaison with the rural fire departments, or what exactly is your role to us as rural fire departments?
We're the administrative management, day-to-day contact with all the volunteer fire departments and fire districts out here. I was going to give you a brief overlay of our program. Cliff's going to put up an organizational chart.
Oh, okay.
So kind of, it sounds like that's a good thing. We're going to ask if that was okay to give you about 5 to 7 minute overview of what we do. But we basically interact with the different departments. We have a staff that works with us, and we make sure that there's a contract in place. The county provides services to bring in volunteers under workers' compensation. I'll give you a quick overview of that. We go out and visit stations. We actually provide a lot of general fund dollars. Our budget's $15.5 million now. The county